Meanwhile, anyone out there who's watching or listening who is a Seahawks fan is thinking, wow, all this Mahomes and Rodgers talk, and we got to choose between
Geno and
Drew Lock. Geno Smith will indeed start the preseason finale. He's 3 for 3 in the preseason. He got the second start because Drew Lock ended up with COVID. Lock will play a lot against the Cowboys. Pete Carroll, who made the disclosure yesterday on 710 ESPN, said it doesn't mean that Smith will be the week 1 starter against the Broncos. He hasn't made a decision yet, he says. If he has, he's keeping it close to the vest. Earlier this week, Chris, he actually didn't rule out the possibility when he was asked the question of whether he would use both guys.
Yeah.
He didn't say that that's impossible. Now, that may just be something for folks to think about as he keeps it a secret as long as he can. But, yeah, he's very self-aware. He said, I'm aware of the remark that if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. We think maybe there's a chance we have 2 number ones. I don't think that's what's going on in Seattle right now. They've moved on from Russell Wilson because he wanted out, and now they have a couple of B-level guys. And I'm sorry, but that's where they are.
Yeah, you're
Nothing
right.
wrong with being a B-level quarterback in the NFL.
No.
You're still a B-level quarterback in the NFL. But Geno Smith hasn't been a consistent starter for a reason. Drew Lock never made it in Denver for a reason. Lost the competition last year to Teddy Bridgewater for a reason. Wasn't ready to go when he had a chance to play last year for a reason.
Right.
And now those reasons are competing with each other to see which guy can rise a little bit above the other. But what's it ultimately going to mean for the Seahawks? It's going to be difficult for them to establish anything this year. And I'm a believer in Pete Carroll's Seahawks. I'm not going to write him off.
Yeah.
But you better hope one of these guys seizes that job and performs well, or you're going to have a tough year postseason, first season without Russell Wilson.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah, they got an issue here. It's 2 guys that got a little talent, but they're, there's some flaws in their game. They're unproven commodities. Can they really do it for a 17-game stretch? I don't know that about either one. So yeah, that's not the best situation they're in. And I don't know, Mike, you tell me. Just reading between the tea leaves here the last 10 days, I feel like is where I felt like, oh, Geno is definitely the guy. It feels like they kind of want Drew to – it's gotten closer. I don't even know how to describe it, but I just feel like the cryptic language of the coaches in the press conference sounds like maybe they haven't been as happy about some things Geno has done or whatever here, and – it is a little closer than we think. So I don't know, Mike. I don't know if you got the same read I do, but I just feel like that over the last week or so.
I think they want to give Drew Lock every opportunity to take it.
Right.
To just take it. Somebody's got to rise up and take it. Somebody's got to grab the brass ring. Geno hasn't done it yet. And so by saying that Lock will play a lot against the Cowboys, I think they're hoping for the kind of performance where it's a no-brainer. And again, the locker room needs to be behind it. So far, you haven't heard any chatter about players lining up behind one guy or the other. D. Eskridge yesterday was very, very diplomatic about it, saying, it's even and I'm behind both guys. And the 2 guys involved have made it clear they support each other. But I think that's part of it, too. You need to ultimately take the pulse of the team and get a sense of who they're going to better react to and whether they agree with your assessment as to who it should be. And through it all, whoever the eventual starter is going to be is having fewer chances to get as ready as he can be for week 1 as they drag this out and will continue to drag it out. Do you think they're waiting for Jimmy Garoppolo?
I don't think so. I don't feel like it. I don't know. I have a hard time thinking that. I mean, first off, Jimmy Garoppolo has not exactly played great when he's played against the Seattle Seahawks. So they've gotten some look. I mean, we can go back to their game in Seattle last year. He made some bonehead plays that, allowed Seattle to beat them. Or yeah, it did beat them. Jimmy Garoppolo again is going to be in another situation where we talk about where if he goes up to Seattle, he's going to be the 3rd most physically gifted guy on the team. He is. They're going to go, whoa, his arm's not as good as Geno's. His arm's definitely not as good as Drew Lock's. Whoa, he's not as big as them. Whoa, he's not as athletic as them. Again, that's where I have trepidation about Jimmy Garoppolo. One, we know the stories about off the field. You can talk to anybody in the NFL. It's a little weird there. And then on the field, yes, he's done good things. I understand. But also he's had the benefit of having maybe the 2 best offensive minds, or the guys that are, 2 of the 5 best offensive minds in football the last few years, who can just put things on a silver platter for him. So that's where I don't know. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't know why. I just don't feel that way. I still feel like the Texans at some point, if he gets released, are going to be the team that calls Jimmy Garoppolo and signs him up.
That's what I've been saying for months.
Right.
That they make the most sense if he does get released, and who knows what the 49ers are going to do. But from the Seahawks perspective, hey, they got to figure something out, because Russell Wilson isn't walking through that door. Oh, wait, he is. Monday night, week 1, and you better be ready for it. And I'm not feeling very optimistic about it for the Seahawks, but we'll see what they decide to do.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.